not really. He said, there's an £8,000 profit in it for you. It's like, what? 8,000 quid? He says, yep, 8,000 quid. That's a bit of a profit to turn away. Who wants it? Top Gear. Never. Yep, Top Gear wanted the car. Anyway. So, boys and girls, this week, been a little bit quiet. A few bits and bobs going on. Some stuff for the big truck that we all know about. But we just thought, today, I've got to try and get the Maserati done. So, the Maserati Granturismo I've had for, so it's just before Christmas. Bit of an interesting story. Well, it's, if you like that kind of thing. The car came in. I picked it up in London. Drove it home, back to Grimsby. And immediately, the tyres that were on it weren't that great. A little bit hard, a little bit horrible. So, had a set of Continental Sport Contact 6s all around it. Cost a small fortune, as you can imagine. Anyway, had those fitted immediately. Spoke to a friend about the car and said, wow, I've dropped lucky with this. We'll tell you why in a little bit. I've dropped lucky with this car. I always used to run a Granturismo for a few years, and I was on the lookout for something else. Something different. I've had a Granturismo, but then I saw this. And again, we'll come to why it's even better than I thought in a minute. But anyway, rings my friend up. Hey, old mate. Got a Granturismo here. I'm not selling this one. I want to keep it. Oh, yeah. Brilliant. Told him all about it. Brilliant. He rings me up about 2 hours after that and says, do you want to sell it? I said, nah, not really. He said, that car that you've bought, that you said you're never selling, do you want to sell it? I said, nah, not really. He said, there's an £8,000 profit in it for you. It's like, what? 8,000 quid? He says, yep, 8,000 quid. That's a bit of a profit to turn away. Who wants it? Top Gear. Never. Yep, Top Gear wanted the car. Anyway, long story short, they wanted one of 3 cars. They'd already bought one off a good friend of mine, and they were doing a special that involved jacking the things up, putting mud tyres on and all that. I said, I've just spent a fortune on tyres. Yeah, never mind about that. Do you want to sell it? Go on then. Can't turn down that sort of profit, can you? Absolutely. So, anyway, next day the committee was deciding between this and 2 other cars. Not Maseratis, by the way. There was one Maserati, I think it was a 911 and something else they were choosing between. And anyway, they didn't pick any of them. No. All day. We were in a rush as well, because if they did pick this, it had to go straight down to where they film and get mud tyres put on it and get jacked up and all the rest of it. Would have been absolute crime, to be honest. So, anyway, needless to say, they didn't have the car, and I was dead chuffed about that because, well, it was betwixt and between. I'd have loved to have seen it. You know, I'd love to have been able to say, oh, I supplied a car to Top Gear, but that wasn't meant to be. So I get to keep the car, which is just amazing. So the car, as you see, is 2012 Granturismo 4.7S. The car has had one owner and it's done 49,000 miles. All the bookwork, all the paperwork, all the keys, everything's with the car. Everything like you would want to buy a car like this, really. Couple of little marks on it, couple of little stone chips, one thing or another. And headlights were a bit dull, which we've addressed. Wheels were a little bit, well, they were a bit of a dull grey. They call it mercury grey, I think. So I had those done. They're like in a shadow chrome effect now, and I think they look absolutely ace. Suit the car well. But it's got a lot of extras with this car that make me want to keep it. You can tell me down below if you think I should keep it or sell it, get the money, move on and buy some more daft stuff. Lisa absolutely is in love with this. She was in love with my old one. My old one we ran for years. Very sort of similar to this, but without all the gear. So we loved that car too. Had it about 4 years, went everywhere. It uses my daily driver, and they're just great for that. Well, let's be fair, they're like a drink, but they're not the worst. And if you can, give it a go, because these are known as the reliable Maserati, and in all that time I ran that car, apart from servicing, which is not a lot, I'll give a shout out to a couple of guys in Sheffield who I use, and they're absolutely fantastic. Maranello trained, etc. That's where the other Quattroporte is going to that we spoke about earlier. So, yeah, there she is, look. It gets me speechless every time. So yeah, while I ran that other one, 3 or 4 years, all I had go on it was an aircon pump, which is not the end of the world, is it? Could happen on any car. And it wasn't the end of the world as far as buying it either, because it was about 240 quid, I think, for the aircon pump. So that was brilliant. So don't be too shy of running one of these guys. At the end of the day, you can obviously run into trouble with any car. You could run into trouble with this. I could run into trouble with this tomorrow morning. I hope I don't, but you know how it goes. Don't be afraid. Anyway, so what's this got? Sets it apart from another Granturismo. Well, this one, we've got all the bills from new, the spec sheet and everything else, and the car was specified with about, I think it's about 28,000 quid worth of extras. We've got all the receipts, and I could be wrong on that number, but that rings a bell. It could be more, could be a touch less. So what's it got? Well, for a start, it's a 4.7 auto, which we all know. Did I tell you that? 4.7S. And this one has the Sport Pack. Okay, Matt, what do you get in the Sport Pack? Well, in the Sport Pack, you get the side skirts, which look lovely. You get the flip on the rear. There's a metal flip underneath that. That's actually a carbon fibre flip spoiler on there as well, but there's the proper metal flip under there. It's part of the Sport Pack. You get a different exhaust, and it's noisier. You get, on the Sport Pack, you get the red marks. I didn't know this. I've had Maseratis for flipping ages, but the badges, whenever we go around, let's have a look. You look at the badges in the grille. It's got a red bit in it. That denotes it's a sport. For that, you also think you get a slightly different suspension program. You definitely get a different automatic gearbox program, which when you're in sport mode, really livens the shifts up on the paddles, because it's a proper sloppy auto gearbox, but you've got paddle shifters as well, and they're plenty quick enough for me, and the thing drives properly. I wouldn't be tempted myself with the F1 style gearbox, the MC shift, because well, it goes through clutches like Billy-O. The drive's supposed to be fantastic, apart from when you're trying to park it and stuff like that. So, full auto box, but what it gets when you're in sport is the MC shift pattern, which basically speeds the shifts up and everything else to a standard auto box. I didn't know all this. I've learned all this since I've got the car, and like I say, I ran one for years. So, yeah, there you go again. Look, red bits in the Maserati badge, bit of polish around there as well. We've also got red calipers, and also part of the Sport Pack, you get the Trident 20-inch wheels, and they're just the right wheels, aren't they, to have on a Granturismo. So, nearly said Quattroporte, I've got one, the old one out the back there, haven't I? So, red calipers, absolute must. With a black car, for me anyway, like I say, you might have different ideas, but red calipers, red badges, red divots in the badges, and also you get blacked out chrome. Now again, boom, not immediately obvious, is it? But normally on a Granturismo, this part here, along here, would be in chrome. So would your door handles, so would your exhaust tips. They would be in chrome as well. On this, they actually call it, I think it's part of the Sport Pack, but I think they do call it a shadow line package as well. That's part of the Sport Pack somehow, I don't know, you work it out. But that's in there also. So that's something else that not immediately strikes you in the face, but it's there. and it changes the look of the car. Also, you get the little skirts at the front there, the little wings, or whatever you want to call them on the bottom. You see those? And the thing that immediately distinguishes it is having the sport pack. You get black background to the headlights. Again, I didn't notice. Look at my pictures of my old one. Chrome insets in the lights. These are all black. So, you get in the picture now. There's quite a bit of stuff going on here. And then we'll get to the inside as well. So, let's go inside it. Let's have a look. But walking around the car, you'll see there's no big dents or anything like that. The shine's wonderful because I've just spent all day. I should have videoed it really. But, crikey. Doing this week off video in apart from the bikes and cars. I've been doing a bit of videoing on the big truck over there. We'll get to that. That's a separate deal. But going around the cars, a couple of stone chips on the bonnet. They'll be addressed this week. But generally paint, everything else. Wheels were they were getting tired, so that's why I had those refurbed. Brand new tyres on it. It's going in for a service as well with those guys in Sheffield. The other Quattroporte's going to get gone through, and then when that's all done, we'll get on to this bad boy, get it serviced. So coming to the inside of the car, let's have a look. Let's see what makes it special inside. Even more money spent. Right, so, first thing that hit me, MC Sportline carbon trim. I thought, oh no, what have I bought? I bought an MC Shift. No, that's a carbon interior pack. Was an extra, I can't remember what it was something ridiculous, 2,000 or 3,000 quid or something. Anyway, for that carbon interior pack, you've got carbon dash lock. You also got the MC Sport alloy pedals. We've got Bose Hi-Fi in here as well. We've got a carbon steering wheel. Never seen the like in my life, but we've got one. We've got carbon in the dash, carbon on the gear shift. Looking up, I don't know if you can see it, might be a wee bit dark, but up there we've got Alcantara suede headlining, another extra, absolute fortune. Coming round, we've obviously got the, I guess it's a bit of an elephant in the room by now, the red leather. Yep, bought this car, just sold my other. Said I won't get another Granturismo, not for reasons of not liking them, but because, for a change, we're a man, aren't I? Like to change. So, then this came up. Yeah, black with coal red leather. So, again, you've got the carbon pack there. No sticky buttons in here. Got the paddle shifters, remote controls, all on the back of the steering wheel, everything else, sat nav, all that other good gear. And yeah, coal red leather. So that was it for me. I'm done. Black with red leather. That's the reason I bought it. Absolutely love the car. Mileage, everything was right. And black with red leather. Didn't know about any of this other good gear. About the carbon pack, the alloy pedals, the carbon steering wheel, the Alcantara headlining, the sport pack, the Bose. The seats are comfort seats. So they were an extra as well. They had the comfort seats put in it. And again, wow, they do make a difference. Carbon flip on the rear. I'm still a bit undecided on that, on the carbon flip. Again, if you've got any ideas on the carbon flip, just drop it down below and tell me what you think about the carbon flip. I'm betwixt and between. I think it's a Stradale, MC Stradale carbon flip on there, but it kind of looks aggressive. It looks a bit boy racer, but at the end of the day, it's gorgeous. Look at all those Maserati crests in there. We all know about them. And the interior looks untouched. Absolutely awesome. So, what are we going to do now then? Well, I guess we need to make a noise, don't we? So how am I going to do this? Let me see if I can find something that I can position you on so that you can look at that exhaust while I strike her up. I'll maybe just put my phone down here. What do you reckon? Would that do it? Really good. Right, we've got your position now. So let's fire her up. See what you think. You should like it. I know I do. What's up here? Let me in. There we go. Now I don't know, I've probably just shot stuff all over my camera. And last time I filmed a Maserati from behind, it was that noisy that it actually made the speaker go funny. So let's do it from over here as well. Probably enough, eh? Neighbours are probably going crackers out there. Anyway, you get the drift. And how quiet is that engine that you can't see? Yeah. Quick look inside while it's all lit up. And then we'll round up. Even all the sat nav and everything lights up in red. I think you can pick the colours of that. Maserati clock, all that good stuff. You can see there, 49,830. It's done no miles at all, has it? Once more for the kiddies. That's satisfactory, I think we'll say. So, there you go. That's my Granturismo that I've spent all afternoon polishing, power polishing, etc., getting it to look like that. You could drop in the comments if you think I should buy it. If I should buy it, God, put your teeth back in, Matt. If you think I should sell it, or whether I should just keep it and run it like I did the last one. Won't be the worst thing to have to do, will it? Definitely not. So, there you go, guys. I'm off now. Sign out. That's it for the week. Hopefully get you some good stuff next week on the truck. And, yeah, go from there. Cheers for now.